Following a strike on the UAE, shockwaves are rippling across the Persian Gulf. The fear is Saudi Arabia is next on Iran's target list. Tensions are nearing a flashpoint, and the international community is scrambling for a circuit breaker. They need a neutral third party, someone who can step between Riyadh and Tehran to cool the temperature. On paper, Pakistan looks like the ideal candidate. It's a nuclear-armed Islamic republic that maintains established historical channels with both sides of the Gulf. Islamabad has leaned heavily into this peacemaker persona. They've spent weeks publicly claiming to be actively talking Iran down from any further military action. In a region rigged with diplomatic tripwires, a truly unbiased broker is the only thing standing between a localized dispute and a multi-front war. But the intelligence coming out of the region tells a completely different story. Pakistan's actions on the ground are entirely divorced from their public calls for peace. A massive influx of Pakistani military hardware is touching down right now, directly in Saudi Arabia. This movement involves thousands of active-duty personnel, marking a massive, boots-on-the-ground military deployment. Reports suggest Islamabad is acting as a proxy for the United States, moving pieces on the board to secure American and Saudi interests. You cannot broker peace while secretly arming one of the combatants. This deployment strips away any lingering illusion of Pakistani neutrality. To understand exactly what is happening, we must look at the specific hardware crossing the border. First, there are the fighter jets. Pakistan has stationed 16 JF-17s, aircraft co-developed with China, directly at Saudi air bases. Alongside the fighters, they have also moved 2 entire squadrons of military drones into the kingdom. Then there's the anti-aircraft component. Pakistan has deployed the Chinese-manufactured HQ-9 air defense system to protect Saudi airspace. Officially, Islamabad claims these assets and the thousands of personnel operating them are there strictly for advisory and training purposes. Both governments have outright refused further comment. You don't send active fighter squadrons and long-range surface-to-air missile batteries for a classroom lecture. This exact combination of hardware proves this is a force meant for active combat operations. The legal mechanism authorizing this move is a highly confidential mutual defense agreement signed between Islamabad and Riyadh. This visualizes the current baseline of that agreement. Under its immediate terms, Pakistan has already inserted 8,000 troops into Saudi territory. But the treaty contains a massive escalation clause. If Saudi Arabia actually comes under fire, that deployment ceiling instantly jumps to 80,000 Pakistani soldiers. The commitments extend to the water, too. In a full-scale regional conflict, Pakistan is contractually bound to send its warships to defend Saudi coastlines. This alignment follows a long-standing pattern. High-ranking Pakistani defense officials like Khaja Asif have stated that Pakistan's nuclear weapons are effectively Saudi Arabia's nuclear weapons. When your own defense ministers promise unconditional military support and share the nuclear umbrella with one specific neighbor, pretending to be an unbiased regional mediator is a geopolitical impossibility. Across the Gulf in Tehran, the leadership is watching this military buildup closely. They no longer see a trusted middleman trying to negotiate peace. They see a neighbor acting as a fully compromised extension of the US and Saudi military apparatus. The diplomatic backchannels are completely dead. You cannot negotiate terms when the person facilitating the talks is busy loading the opponent's weapons. By alienating Iran, the international community has lost its only viable diplomatic bridge in a region that is already one miscalculation away from disaster. On the other side, Saudi Arabia's decision to call in thousands of foreign troops reveals exactly how they assess the current threat level. Riyadh isn't preparing for another round of peace talks. They are actively bracing for an imminent, large-scale kinetic strike from Iran. This heavy influx of hardware is setting off alarms next door, forcing other West Asian nations to rapidly mobilize and prepare their own defenses for potential combat operations. The diplomatic window has closed, the alliances are locked in place, the assets are deployed, and the board is officially